What's up, guys? Just bear with me as I send this to the other side. Oh, yes. Pseudo yes maxing today. Pseudo Pac-Man, yes, why not? Wowie. I'm gonna put this at the bottom corner because I moved my microphone like a good person today. So now I can give it small, big, oversized. See, what I don't like is that it's colored this color, because then I can't see Tux the Penguin, bro. And if I can't see Tux the Penguin, how do we know we're arch maxing for the ultimate Arch Linux rice of all time? Totally. Let me go ahead and open up programs. Actually, I need to open up web tools. Oh. I found it. Fortran.lang.org. Greeting, good evening. Wow, no gaming session? No, we just finished it up. We played Hexen. Yeah, we just played some Hexen, by the way. Program maxing Pogger. Yeah. Tux maxing right now. Somebody had something they want me to look at, but I have not received. Wait. Maybe it's in my Gmails. Gmailia, where's the shit at? You guys know what power sockets they got in Europe? I'm kind of curious about the power sockets in Europe. Thank you. Water simulation? I'll check it out. So what's like the C++ ecosystem kind of like? What kind of like stuff you got in there? Like for like compilers in the C++ ecosystem? W13.png? Whoa. Whoa. That shit's cool. Bro, I couldn't do GL for the life of me, if I'm being honest. C++ water simulation? Like, this is some crazy shit. Similar to D-Lang? Yeah. Watercode.zip. Here, let me just download the source code. Screenshot. What the hell? I couldn't do GL for the life of me. The zip source file is okay. And the PNGs are the progress I got. Oh, okay. The Jobito code. Our house in the middle of our street. Our street in the middle of our extract. Home Heisenberg downloads. Today's a Thunar kind of day. Pseudo Thunar man. SYU, please. Actually, I have to do that, but not right now. Can you put the fish on that water? Maybe. But not me. It's not a task for me. I'm not this goated at water design. Stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended bitrate. What do you mean it's lower than recommended bitrate? What's our kilobytes per second? Our kilobytes per second are amazing. Tunar. Downloads 1. Whoa! We can't play that one. Awesome. Well, I'll just save that for some other time, bro. That's great. Oh, hey, I still have this photo in my downloads folder, by the way. I'm just curious what all this shit I have is. Nope, can't look at that one. It's got music. Is this mine? I just have a photo of my shit. Maybe I downloaded it for a thumbnail. Oh yeah, for the stream thumbnail. Duh. Hold on, I'll get the C++ open and we'll open that. Wowie. This stuff makes me go such wow. This is such wow. We will build a big data center like this. I always show that one, but I don't have any other good pictures of like computers that are like that make you go like, oh my god, bro. Odyssey Linux? Why is this not in my pictures and then images? I'm sorry, I'm just downloads 1. Wait, did I extract it already? You got one of these? Yeah, I also ordered one of these. It's in my old house. I don't live there, so I probably won't see it till next year, probably, when I get to go back, but... Copy, delete, rename... Open with ARC. Extracticate it. Extract... Cancel. Sudo cancel, man. SYU. Where's it at? Review? Oh, okay, here we go. I've been looking. I got some H's and some CPPs. Why does it default to opening that with that? Open with Kate. Wowie. This is beautiful. Pragma once. Namespace GL util. Oh, this is like GL stuff. This is a binding for it, basically. This is probably like a binding, I'm guessing. Do you want to just run the download, the water file to run it? Well, I want to look at the code for it first. A.M. What is this doing? A.M, comma 15. Is that like matrix stuff? I'm guessing. I really need to make my own like array library or something so I can do like vector math. Because I watched a video about it and now I kind of understand what vectors and matrices and scalars and shit are. Like the scalar is the single number. And then you got your other ones. Menus. C++ is just like C, but like then you add void in there instead of just int. Interesting. You have to learn young one. So let's see. Namespace. I was working on something with an array of voids of like functions. So I had an array where I was going to store functions so I could call them using readln. It was like a weird idea I had. Alright, time for me to take a screenshot right here. This is the screenshot of all time for the thumbnail. I just gotta redo the thumbnail since I keep using the stream without the thumbnail. Actually, to make sure we get the maximum amount of people checking out this video, the thumbnail needs to be like code and also Linus Torvalds and Tux in the background. It's a trick, trust me. Shut up! I'm not watching vector math on stream. God damn it, why is that even open? Source. Jesus. What an ambush, bro. He was waiting for me. K-Write? What the fuck is K-Write? And why do I have this? At this point, I'm just fucking around. This is, Alright, here we go. Source code that's not even mine, but it will be for the thumbnail of today's episode. We have Archdude in the background, and we even have the chat in this photo. This is perfect. Oh, this isn't even that many lines. These are like keybinds. IMGUI? I think I heard of this library. I haven't really messed with it too much. I've used DUB for some binding stuff. What is this? Shot underscore? This is a variable? Oh, it's a Boolean S equals underscore shot. And then you do return S. So that's just for your while loop, I'm guessing. You have a while loop somewhere in here? For the menu? Hold on. Now it's like, learn now about vectors. Yeah, I didn't even watch the full video. I'm just gonna be honest. I watched until he got to the point where he was talking to this one lady in a park about how she needed to vectorize, and I was like, damn, bro. I wish I had friends that like that I could just be like, hey, you need to vectorize. Bruh. Need to vectorize, man. Combo pool size. Let's compile this using CMake. Ah, it's him again. He's come back to ambush me. What? Thor the Doge commented, my machines have turned against me. A misplaced chemical. What a peaceful rebellion. Thank you, Thor a Doge. I'm trying to find where I put my Thunar. Actually, I just need to open Xterm. Actually, you know, we gotta open Fast Fetch for all the new people who might be here. If anybody's new, congratulations. It's your first daily jester, and it's blank for Java. But at least you get C++. Being really good at C++ is like being really good at using rocks to sharpen sticks. The most hated guy just joined chat. Who? I don't know. We don't hate SVG098. Bro's SVG098. This is obviously Slackware 1.0. Yeah, you can tell because the guy is wearing Arch Linux shirt in the background. Most hated guy. Yeah, he's hate maxing. He plays Hatred every day, bro. He's hate maxing. CD downloads. Review. CMake. I don't know how to do CMake. I really don't. I've only really used CMake like one time. Obviously, I'm not the Genbuntu maxer of all time. CMake list.txt and makefile. All of this just to use a compiler, by the way. But C is so OP, bro. C is like the most OP programming language. If you're gonna choose a programming language to learn, like C is like the goat, bro. C or C-like, or maybe Fortran, but SDL2. Oh, I've used SDL before. So how do I do this again? Because I really don't do this much. CMake path to source to help make the project better. To compile, that's what the text file is for. Okay. ls cat CMake txt. Oh, I'm dumb. Am I? Wait. Oh. I am very dumb. I can't read. Am I this bad at this? It's snake case. Wait, why am I trying to cat it? I literally had it. I literally have Thunar open. What am I doing? What am I doing to myself? So this thing is interesting, and then there's a make file. CMake standard 17. CMake, and then just put. You probably have to set these, right? I guess you set this, that, and the next thing. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what the compiled code on Codeberg is for? Yeah, but I like to compile. Here, I'll go ahead and use web. I like to learn, so let's go ahead and do CMake today. CMake tutorial. You just build with CMake and the text helps. Oh? Yeah, I have never really used this that much. CMake build. Wait. CMake build. Review / build. ls. Oh! CMake / Ooh! What the hell? That was fast. Is that done? Where's Michael? I gotta ban him. Lol. Bruh, what the hell? So, this did this thing. Cat ls. What did I just do? I did something. CMake files? The CMake file. We found the files, the CMake files. What? It's a recursive directory. Wow. Canned recursion right here. That's way faster than dealing? What do you mean? I didn't even do anything. I think we haven't even compiled yet. Unless the CMake files contain what we're looking for and it's not all... This is all just configuration stuff. Usually it takes way longer though. When will you release the CMake files? When the US government finally figures it out. It's the CMake file below that with the cogs. Really? Oh. Okay. CMake / make file. I'm just looking through everything that just got made into existence. If not failed, I think it just needs to be chud modded. Chamad. I don't know if it's makefile or what. We'll chamad makefile soon. Chamad makefile. Whoa! Okay, that's not what we're looking for. That's a text thing. Let's see. Water.dir. CMake scratch. Because I don't think that was the full... This one. CMake determine compiler.bin. I don't think that's the full process. Usually you have to do, like, more. I thought. Unless I'm just stupid, but yeah, I'm probably just stupid. Whoa. So the command is CMake, and I just did CMake./ which then initialized everything. I think you have to do like GCC or some shit. You might have to. I broke the terminal. Yeah, I probably just screwed shit up. Anyway, we'll check it out, since that's probably a video for this weekend. We're gonna be doing this guy again. Fucking A. We'll probably just be doing that this weekend, honestly, with a bunch of stuff. Depends on what I got going on this weekend. Web tools, please. Wait, why do I need Brave again? Oh, what was I doing? I was gonna download... I already have the source code. We have the files. We're gonna delete reviews since I kind of just screwed around there. Water code. I want to do a lot of compiling this weekend, so maybe I'm gonna get into GNOME, by the way. I don't know yet. Open with Arc. Extracticate it. Sudo do now, please, yes. Yes, why not? Make file, source. Wow. That's all it comes with to begin with. Wait, you said there's a binary provided? Am I just not... I'm not looking hard enough. The binary is like in here. Chamad water. You have downloaded a Windows executable on Linux. Get shit on. Xterm. Oh shit. Every modern Java program I see embeds its logic in an exaggerated choose-your-own-adventure model, where decisions of where to jump next occur in one-world increments. Run the compiled file called water in Codeberg. My brain cells. CD download /water chamad plus x water Might need to move it to review. Do. Whoa, it's running. Holy shit. Jimmy Neutron, the program just executed itself. Wowie, 31 FPSs. Huh. This is kinda, does it have NVIDIA ray tracing, by the way? Does it even have GPU support? Wait, did you forget to have... Well, I use Arch, so I probably don't even... I don't know if I have C++ installed. Wave machines. Calm water. 32 frames per second. Wave physics. Spam it. Cosine, sine, and tangent all at the same time, by the way. Uses GPU support for AMD or NVIDIA? Okay. This is really like... I feel like it'd be higher, but then again, I am using a laptop to run this. Drop one at center. Wowie. Wow. Pseudo wow. Oh yeah, it's gonna get real wet in this stream today. That's why all this water's here. Calm water. Maximum water. Whoa, water physics, bro. This shit's cool. Coolium Mogus right here. Sorry, I don't read shit. I just kind of do things. S? Whoa. Oh, wow. F? Plus minus. P. P. Wait. What the fuck? Wowie. Wow. Freeman, I am deleting the water from the game. Wow. I am removing the water from the box. Wow. This is what they call desertification. All that be left is sand. Access denied. Access granted. Access denied. Also, I do have to improve the code, but this works for now. Yeah, this is crazy to me though. This is still crazy. Control plus drag. Bind level to something. Access denied. Freeman. Unp. Wowie. This is the best water of all time right here. Cool. Drop more cubes. Access denied. Bing 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 bing. Wow. Access denied. Sorry, I'm becoming the doors from Half-Life. Every one of them will say access denied from now on. Wowie. That's like the Calm Max water, and then this is the Super Hurricane water from Florida. Click the word cube to change where you place it. Rowboat. I like rowboat. Bro, the rowboat is kind of sad, honestly. Trying to do some water maxing, but I can't. Is it calm again? Please make it bad. Terrible water. Send everything around. Can I have water that goes in circles like a whirlpool? It's all just getting fucking pushed in the corner. Rowboat. Let's go with sphere. I thought that'd be really interesting, and then also one of these. Please sing. This is cool. You need to change that slider below the object. Change how floaty it is. Maximum float, 0 float. The NVIDIA Float Max. That's Apple Float Max, my bad. Very good. I think we've seen enough for today. So it's time for me to get to programming. This was pretty cool to look at. Thank you for showing me this. This is my very beautiful eye. You will see no other eye like this one. They call it the arch-eyed of all time. Bro, I got a double. I got the same one twice. Took me 8 hours speedrun to learn C++4. You're welcome. Damn. I'd maxing. We're gonna write some new code probably. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I was working on some interesting stuff, but I was like, yeah, we'll just write something new today. I don't know yet. Because I was writing stuff with pointers. Also did some more work on bytepack.d, but like, I want to do more thready stuff. I like threads. Thread spaghetti. Brain upsetty. Thread spaghetti. Also, I've been told that HPC stuff, best thing to use is Fortran, by the way. Wonder if OpenCL use Fortran. Or if you even need that with Fortran. I think I heard you can get compilers for that shit. Or just compiles Fortran to like the target and it just works. Well, I want to do vector math stuff. I want to try to work with vector math. Wonder what D-Lang has for vector math. I know it has a type of vector library. Helped someone made a tokenizer for a custom code language they are making to try to run it on a CPU they designed. That's pretty interesting. They designed a CPU. So we're gonna make a new project today. I don't know if I'm gonna do I'm gonna just go ahead and use readln for my input. Class, some class name, name pending pendium. And then it's just gonna exist. Static string array words. And then we'll learn about vectors today in D-Lang. Because I watched that dude's video. Oh, I just saved it. Save as D-Lang, new folder. Vector maxing. What? Sudo what? Oh. Vect.d. Okay, why? Sudo why? Ah. cd dlang, and then there should be vect. They got to even go to a Intel building where they make the CPUs, and got to design his own and produce it. So now he's trying to get it to run. That's pretty cool. That's insane. Void main. Boom. Right, and so we can use this main. What's next up on my list of things that I'm gonna do? Oh, right, I'm taking a string array words. To make the string array words, you had to do like a bunch of things, which was pretty simple. You just could call that in a this constructor. So you'd use this, and then for each, you just do readln. So you do w equals readln. And it's gonna be like string w. So you have to take that first, and then you can take the readln. What am I doing? Yeah, I guess you could take, my brain cells are turning off. We need to import standard dot array colon array semicolon. We need to import standard dot, no, actually we do, import standard dot algorithm colon no dot searching. I think it's can find. That's going to be needed to make a simple running thing, to get it to just run in a while loop, which is what we're going to do, is going to call a class into existence. And then for string w equals readln, we're going to try to make string words from that, and we need to use standard dot string standard dot open the other one too. I want to see what that one had. What did I use for that one? Bytepack.d? Standard.algorithm splitter. I keep getting it confused with standard.string because I think standard.string had something similar. Import standard.string :splitter. So you can then do string array, but you could just technically, since we already declared static, and you might want to do underscore G shared if you're going to do threading. So then after that, words equals readln or equals W. Also, I think you do need to put these here because I think it requires that. Although we might just be able to call it like that. I'm going to call it like that and see what happens. W.splitter dot splitter, and then just do this. Anytime there's a space that occurs, then dot, and then searching, right? Array, readln, writeln. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh, we need to put array on the end of this. That gives you an array for words. After that, words is pretty much good, but then you need to be like, if words.can find any instance of this for each words kind of thing. Take that and then do words of words, and then append it to another array. But we only need to initialize anything in here, so like to mutator. Is that a super mutant? I am super mutant. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Fallout, bro. Hit it with that Fallout vibe. Nobody's expecting that in a serious program. Super mutant Easter egg confirmed. Then you can just do a one-line if statement. If word equals or does not equal the one we're looking to remove, then append to super mutant, and then words equals super mutant at the end. So super mutant appends word if it does not equal that, which this is the most effective way of removing words from a line without importing a bunch of bullshit that doesn't really work the way I want it to. And that's all we need to do. So if it does that and succeeds, then afterwards words equals super mutant. So that creates words. It makes it clean. So that's literally all it needed to do, is just call this. It just cleans out any instances of dumb spaces that might occur. So then when you run DMD, actually there's nothing in the void, so we need to call auto. We need to create a thing is... Well, I need to rename this class because it's kind of lame. I'm not even sure what to call it. User input. We'll just call it input. Auto input equals input, and that's it. It will just automatically make it for us. DMT. Technically, we can also use a Boolean here. So, for example, we can use Boolean bool input exists. Yeah, bool exists. That's good. Or active. Active is okay. Active would work. While input dot active. That will create a while loop that's going to be based off of the input class being active. So now all I have to do is DMD it. Did I really just put standard.string splitter instead of algorithm? We looked at that and we're like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Unidentified identifier word. Ah, wowie. Nice. Type input has no value. What? There. Do it. Oh, I'm dumb. I forgot to put new for class object. This is what I get for not using object-oriented code in a while. /vect. Ooh. Equals true by default. Let's go ahead and add a case handler. Or, see, I don't like... so here's something I really don't like is running a lot of eval, but there's like two ways of handling things. I feel like one way of handling things is to like store things in memory. The other way is to like run it through the CPU. I feel like eval more is CPU, but then there's a little bit of memory usage. But then like if I were to like store an array of pointers for like indexes, so that way I can just call them on the fly. I wonder if that's possible as well. I could probably do that. I think you can call functions through pointers, but I barely touch pointers, so it's something I really don't mess with much. You also technically make a void function array, which I also haven't messed with too much, and that's something I don't really want to put in this program if I haven't messed with it a lot. So I'm probably just going to go with eval. So void eval. That's a great naming, actually. I like this one the best so far of all the names I've used. So, since it's a class object, you don't even need to have really anything inside of the method, unless you wanted to put in external information. So, you just call, like, input.eval. Which will basically just do whatever goes inside that method. For example, also calling, if you put this in the this constructor, you won't be able to call it again. So that should just be a standalone class called make. void in it, so I don't think it really needs a constructor, but if it does, ooh, that wouldn't work. We'll just call it dot make then, and we'll just get rid of all this. Or we could call it dot initialize, but nobody likes to type out that much. There we go. So yeah, then we have a new input, but it has no values or anything. Really, it just has bool active is true. So then to call, or give it that, so you would put it like, technically we can do it in here now, because all it's doing is input.make, and then you run input.eval to evaluate what we put in. So eval will just be a switch. Well, technically you don't need to call that. So if input.words.length, this is getting very fun. This is a lot of dot. It's starting to turn into Java, bro. Equals equals. Then you just do input.eval. What is it going to equal though? Well, if the input.length is greater than, like, let's say 4, and then we can call how I did it in the original one. So then if you'd also need to check if that and the first 4 indexes equals, so we're running this one first, because if this doesn't apply, then we don't even need to check the second one. We can just skip over it. So if it's always less than 4, then we don't need to bother checking this. But actually, input.words is an array of arrays. Let's just do, because that's 2 checks I don't want to do. Input.words let's actually put the index as 0, and if input.length is 1, no, let's just do evaluate if the index of words is 0. Then you'll be able to run commands and also put in other words as well, so that way it makes it so, yeah, it wouldn't matter if you have just one index. That's a better way of doing it than I was thinking. Let's do that. 0 to ... 4 equals no, just do lowercase. There we go. That's all of that stuff. Input.eval, which will just be based off of switch from this to the end. CND. Alright. Words from 4 to end. Let's take this. Let's do input.words.write.ln, because it should come out correct after that. And then we're going to do this, but we're going to put it into a .write.ln as well. That way I can just get those, so then I can DMD D must be of an integral or string type. It is a string array. What? Ah. My brain cells. Switch statement without default. Default. Let's just do thing.writeLN. Not a arg, not a command. This is gonna be fish shell, by the way. Maybe we're making fish shell. It's gonna feature CPU acceleration. False. Whoa. Okay. CMD colon. True, not a command. That's perfect. CMD colon / new line. Now, I forgot a part of this is that you take splitter. When you run this, you remove the last index every time. So go to here and put in 0 to ... that -1 to remove that. And then so if you do CMD colon exit, then ideally it exits on its own. So you would put it in like, in the switch you could add, I don't know, like case, then do string exit. However, what does for do exactly? I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, also, we would need to have labels because of how it worked before. Well, exit could just set that to false and then it exits the loop. I hate A2. Why does every security terminal when it doesn't work? Why does it have a security terminal when it doesn't work? I don't know. Because it's a work in progress, maybe. Maybe they're actively developing a security terminal. And then we need a CD, or actually, no, we don't need. What am I saying? CD underscore exits. That's a label called exit. And then we need one called start. I don't want to call it start. I don't know how it's going to conflict with symbols that might exist. I assure you they are not. This is for MC 1.7.10. Maybe they're still developing it. You never know. Could be awesome, bro. Case exit. Oh, I'm stupid. Ha ha ha. I am an idiot. Ha 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 ha. You want to use breaks, not returns. Although I think no, don't even. Or actually, in this case, you would just use goto. Although I'm not sure if you can do that within these. Goto colon. Goto underscore strt colon. Then this one goes to exit. Colon. I really like goto. I only need 2 labels, a start and an exit. It makes me go assembly brain, bro. Assembly brained individual. I am an assembly brained human being. Not. Words. Oh, exit. I like also reverse call syntax. Exiting, exclamation point. Comma, colon, comma, colon, comma, 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 colon. Expecting when following go-to statement. Ah, me I am sometimes thinking. Label, question mark. Freeman. Label is undefined. Yeah, I figured, because it's not in the scope. So you won't be able to use go-to with this method, or this technique. However, we could... So input.eval, then input.eval will set whether active is true or if it needs to travel to the exit one. Well, actually, you don't even need that since it's in a while loop controlled by it. You just set active, but you want to skip everything, so you would need an exit. So if you want to skip everything and not do it, you can avoid using eval by just using a goto. Oh, I'm allergic to labels. Check this out. I think it's better to format your code like this now, instead of doing that fuck-ass shit I used to do. That's my new if statement style. Actually, no. That looks weird to me. I don't like that. Input.eval. Then once input.eval is done, then if true, do that. If false, go, then continue. But that's like nested if statements. Technically, we could initialize another boolean that's just local to this eval, which will handle where it's going to, if it needs to go to start or exit. Or we use a ubyte to handle 3-bit or 3 possible things. That's what we'll do. Ubyte. My brain cells are that's an array. Ubytes. By the way, bool is like the same size as ubyte from what I understand. I think that it takes up 4 bits as well. But it only has 2 possible values. It has to be a bit. Like, why would you represent ubyte as why would you represent bool as a ubyte? Like, what kind of logic doesn't make sense? That makes no sense. In my brain, at least. Ubyte do what? Equals 0. And then you could just technically just use, well, once these are done, then you just put a break in there. Not a command, then just run a break. And then at the end of this, that's where we do the go-tos and shit. Well, this also would need to be, like, accessible to outside members if we're running it like that. Because that's how I'm going to use the go-tos. Is then I'm going to be like, well, if this go-to... So yeah, this needs to be, like, outside of the scope. It needs to be in the class object itself. Technically, exit could be put before the end of the while, since, well, no, let's just put it there to be safe. Case, no, let's do a switch for a double switch. Input dot eval. I wonder if you could, for each evaluating everything for the, like, task pool it all and then have it, like, you could totally task pool every eval and just have all of your eval happening in different places. That'd probably be scary, honestly. Like, I've learned that kind of doing multi-thready stuff gets kind of spooky and scary, and you see the ghouls and goblins and skeletons come out as your numbers start to look like spaghetti and shit. And it's like, bro, what the hell did I just do? I didn't even realize that 2 threads could access that at the same time, let alone 42 threads. How'd that happen? My PC doesn't have that many cores on it, bro. How did that happen? Input.eval. Why would what? The switch is... Actually, you could do a switch that's technically a U-byte. This is smarter. This is even smarter than before. U-byte eval, right? If you use U-byte eval, eval just goes into a switch. So then it's a switchception, bro. First you run this switch to determine where it's going. Then you run a second switch. So the first switch returns the value to determine where the next switch is going to go. And the next switch is then like, if this, go here. Old 82 sucks, bro. What is this? 1808 denied build to player 234. Allowed build to player 234. ID 3 security active true. Boolean. Cast you by 82, bro. For each car of 82, cast bool false. Oh, my bad. I mean, my brain cells hurt. Then the switches are done with cases. Case 0, case 1, case 2. Can you believe at one point I was gonna learn Python? What a mistake that would have been. Sorry, that's completely unrelated. Go to and then underscore strt. This is the go-tos. That's all it needs. Go to underscore exit. And if the case is 2, continue. Actually, this could be done with Boolean. This is also default. Nice. That is, I think that works. We're about to see some weird shit happen. Wait, wouldn't it just be the same to say continue? And then, let's do a couple tests. End. So I want to test that, but I also want to make sure that it, like, start. I want to test how I could use a continue statement. I believe continue just means to go back to the top. I think it would be safe to put continue here. So we'll try to get that third case. Otherwise, I think go to exit is correct. Unless it could be done with return. I think we might be able to remove labels altogether. And that's what I want to try to do, is try to remove labels. There's no real point in having a start and an exit if it could potentially be done differently. So obviously, if it's exiting, then I can just set bool active to false. Active equals false, by the way. Cool. And then at the end of the switch, we're going to return a value. We're going to return... Oh wait, these are returns though. I wonder... Oh, well, if we can get this to work, we could technically just figure it out. I don't really want to initialize anything. We'll just have it return a value then. Instead of breaking every time. Return 2. Yeah, return 2. Return 0. See how that works. Start. End false. Okay. cmd colon exit. True exiting. It didn't even write exits. That's good. Oh, that means it can just continue. What? Continue if that happens. Otherwise, return 0. Let's try doing a return now. If we do a return, it will hit end every time. Right. It expects that now because it is now a ubyte eval. Ooh. It's not inside a loop. Oh. Wait. Oh shit. Yeah, it has to be done here. So, because it's not technically inside of this loop. Even though I think it could work, I don't think it needs start though. I think it can just do return here. Instead of go to exit, let's try out return. Though, that depends on if you want a post loop. So if you wanted to have a loop after a loop and you didn't want to hit this end line, that's when you want to do go to exit. So let's see. Start. cmd colon exit should not write ln end. Which it doesn't. So technically return does work. That is like hard exit. So that's a hard exit. We'll put that as 2 now. And then case 1 go to exit. I'm gonna keep the go to because I think having it like that is far better, because what if I wanted a second while loop to reinitialize or to restart this thing? What if I wanted that? What if I didn't want to leave the program entirely? That's when I would use the soft exit. Although, I'm still going to have it return 3, actually. It didn't return 2. Oh, wait, what? So let's try putting this one to return 2. So the hard exit's this one. Makes sense that continue would work for that. Although, when we do exiting, it wrote ln exiting, did it exit? The default was continue. So that means default is 0. For now, we'll just leave it as 2. Alright, let's do cmd colon, not a command. So that is another way of exiting. So return is a hard exit. Break would just break the loop at that iteration. It would also drop you out of the loop. Technically, break is an exit as well. So you wouldn't need go to exit then. Let's see. True exiting. Next. That's gonna allow me to do a bit. Seem to equal exit, and it hits next. Which return wouldn't do. So if I had this as a 2, return doesn't do that. Like, sometimes I get confused on what these actually do. That's why I'm reviewing this shit right now. Exiting. So yeah, return would just send you out of the program entirely. Whereas 3 for the other one, perfect. This one can be return 0, which will always go to start. So, if I did just return, like, what, 10? Let's say I return 10. That's the default. Hello. Which one did it do? So it went back to the start. cmd colon. Returns to start. So yes, this can be done without anything in 0. So now it's going to be 0, 1, and default. That removes every label from existence. There will no longer be labels unless I absolutely need them for some kind of special loop purposes. There we go. Returns 0 to skip to start. That way I can kind of remember how those work, because, you know, I forget that shit. Bro, this reverse function calling syntax is fantabulous. It makes all my programs look unreadable. It's starting to look like Java spaghetti. If you don't know why I hate Java, it's because Java is big dumb, by the way. So let me go ahead and show you. Gesture to Java, right? Java is in many ways C++ minus. From Michael Feldman. Gesture to 0 Java. Java, the best arguments for small talks in C++. Thank you, Java. D-Lang. I don't really use the D-Lang one much. Oh, right. I also have a special one for viewers. If you're a viewer and or a supporter. Oh. You'll end up in the supporters files, so let me know. If you have a quote that you want to put in here, I'll put it in here if you have one, if you're supporters. Otherwise, I'll just go and dmd vect.d. I know we've gotten sidetracked so far. However, we're going to make a vector calculator today. It's going to be quantum. Quantum mechanics. It's going to be the fish version of TensorFlow. Oh, yeah. In this case, we'll just return 3, by the way. I use Arch, by the way. I use Arch. Oh, wow. Alright. So I've created that, a switch from a U-byte method in input, and now it's time to start making a new thing from this. What comes next? Well, we can process every indice of words at the same time using task pool. So let's go and do that. Import standard A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. S comes after P, so. There's a way to call fibers, which are subthreads, and I want to explore that with this program. Brain cells. They are leaving my body. Whoa. It's not even Fortran o'clock. This is the programming song. Sorry, I was just looking at standard parallelism because I'm like, is there more? Simcha. Almost sigma. Thank you for making such a great programming language. Total CPUs. C-lang. Stable. No, I'm on the cutting edge though. I am D-lang maxing right now. Fibers though, there's fibers. There's a class in standard that handles fiber, which should probably be in the F section. If not, fibers are in core. Or they're in concurrency. One of these 3 places. Concurrency might have fiber. Fiber scheduler. Thread scheduler. Scheduler. These are like implementing a scheduler allows the concurrency mechanism used by this module to be customized according to different needs. By default, call spawn will create a new kernel thread that executes the supplied routine, terminates when finished. But it is possible to create schedulers that reuse threads, that multiplex fibers, coroutines across a single thread. A fiber is kind of like in Java, they have a way of doing it where they have V threads. At least what I understand. Like here, Kotlin, they have coroutines on JVM and stuff. but coroutines go together with like a thread, basically. It's like a sub-thread. Technically, well, I think V-threads are different, though. I think V-threads are like... I wonder what Java V-threads are like. I know that Java has some weird fanciness going on with JVM, where they have virtualized threads. I don't care about Java enough to... Thank you, Sun Microsystems. We love Sun Microsystems on this channel, by the way. What is this? What programming language is this, by the way? By the way, what programming language? Is this Ruby? Is this Python? It looks like Python. It's got yield, and it has loop. While queue is not empty, remove some items from queue. Use the items, yield to produce. Bro, you should... Why are you using Windows when you could use Arch Linux, bro? See how cooking this is? Arch Linux, bro, it's like the best distro of all time, bro. I'm telling you. Super mutants. Fucking super mutant, bro. Ah, it's Fortran o'clock. Boy, do I love Fortran o'clock. But I'm not gonna start doing Fortran for a little bit, probably. I wanted to finish up reading about fibers, so we can implement those. Oh, he said Python here, by the way. E.g. Python, or use this or similar model. Generator produce, generator consume, subroutine dispatcher. So, like, we'll have to kind of implement some way of doing that, but see, ultimately my goal is to take the string, process it, and build vectors and then matrices, and then from that we'll be able to take... So a vector is like a row or a column of a matrix. So if I... Hold on. I can draw it for you all. Beep, 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 beep. By the way, it's not transparent. New. Oh god, it's Half-Life. Okay, well we're drawing on Half-Life mode, by the way. Alright, so let's say, for example, I have a matrix like A, B, C, and then, well, that's a vector. But I could also have B, A. That is also a vector. And if you have two vectors, then you probably have something that looks like maybe C there, maybe C here on this one, or like something like this, maybe. Well, if we had to have like A, B, C, B, A, if we had something like this, it would be weird. Because then you'd have, obviously, both B can be related to C, but what if C is on the corner? Let's say C goes there, A goes in the middle, but then we have B related to B, but it would just be A, and C would be on the outside of that, but that'd be like a, kind of like a, what structure would that be like? It'd be like a kind of, how would I describe that? It's like, I know there's a word for it. Staggered? That's not the word. But anyway. Size. Flashbang. The orange was okay, guys, but now this is kind of painful. I'll make sure to make it quick. But anyway, you could have... What kind of fucking pencil mode is this in? Is it like using force, size, angle, opacity? Here we go. we have our matrix then. So like we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. This is an example, but that's your matrix then. But then any line of these, for example, that's a vector, that's a vector, and then one of these is a scalar. So matrix so that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, that's enough of me explaining vectors and shit. But that's like the ultimate goal, is we build a matrix for each word that has not properties, but relationships, okay? That's important. It relates to other words, and how it relates to those words, that's the value that needs to go in each vector. Each vector needs to have us giving it some way of referencing what to put next. Or I think what could work is every word has a... What you could do is use the matrix to check which words go where. So for example, if a word has a matrix, then it can only go with words that have a similar matrix in some way, some intrinsic property of that matrix. So something like that could work. Now, I have no idea how to make such a thing yet, because I haven't really messed around with it, but it's time for me to learn some Fortran today and stop thinking about that too much. At least I got to show you all how to write with some classes and stuff and started a new program. Who knows what we'll do with this one, but, well, I did say vector math, so we'll try doing stuff with that, like doing multiple different things at the same time. Create new window. Let's see, where's that Fortran program I was working on yesterday? It was like variables, hellos, arrays. Fortran is still making weird, bro. Fortran make weird. I kind of figured it out, by the way. You need to put this in here and that, and then it works. I had to ask AI for that because I have no fucking clue where to find docs for this, but I was told Fortran.org, Fortran-lang.org, learn. Learn is good. So I just have to do more learning. Anyway, let's go to arrays. Arrays and strings. Oh. Wowie. Wowazoa. Anyway, let's cd dot. Let's yeah. cd slash. And then gfortran arrays dot dash o arrays. What do you mean gfortran? G? Maybe it's gftran. Where is my G4tran at? Have I been... No. Yeah, it's... Oh, did I misspell Fortran? Oh, I spelled it Fortan. Fortan... something. Amazing. /arrays. Writes hello world from a module, right? So you take module hello, you have an end for a hello module, hello, which is like your scope basically, instead of doing a funny looking thingus like this for a scope, then you just go into here, you just do words for that. Kind of interesting. It'd be nice to have Fortran, but you just say funny bracket hello funny bracket close. That would be pretty okay, I think. But I think they use the word to tell the compiler what it is, so that's kind of important as well. It's like saying void or something, but this just says it's a module which contains something. Fortran code, very clean, less weird symbol. Yeah, it's like they say like C or like other imperative languages is like English, but like, bro, that ain't like English. That's like, it's like fucking computer anyway. Why would I want to do tilde or some weird shit, or however fucking weird brackets and things? My brain hurts after doing that for too long. So then you get into here, and we have to implicit none, so that way it doesn't assume variables. And then you have to do character, this, some kind of like parameter or something, just telling it length equals asterisk, and that's a, oh, it is a parameter. Oh, wow. Hey, I didn't even know. And then continue on, colon for that C++ vibe, and then hello world equals apostrophe hello space world apostrophe. And then you hit end module hello, which means you're ending that module. So then you go to the next section, which is program arrays. So a module is different from a program. A module can be used somewhere else. For example, in program arrays, I do some of the same stuff. I implicit none, and I make a block, which uses hello, which is our module, and then only uses hello world from hello. So not implicit none or anything else in that module. Then it prints with asterisks here, comma, hello world, which means that it's printing this character with the parameter len equals asterisk to the standard out, and then we end the block, and then we end the program. Pretty simple stuff. That was what I was going to do for a warm-up yesterday, but I had no clue how to write those. So now that we're writing our program arrays, we got some practice in with modules, and we did a little bit of that review stuff. Then it's time to start learning about array stuff. So they have 3 different ways of declaring them. You have, for example, integer, comma, dimensional, or dimension, and then you can do 10, colon, arrays, array 1, don't need a semicolon. You can also do integer, colon, array 2, and then put 10. That's another way of declaring it as an array. And the last one, they have real, comma, dimension, 10, comma, 10, colon, array 3. I'm going to go ahead and make some guesses. First, interesting. I have not much to say about the first 2. I like this syntax better, honestly. It's a lot shorter. But I'm sure they have specific use cases. And then with real dimension 10, comma 10, that's when things are like interesting, because there's 10, comma 10. Does that mean it's a 10 times 10 shape for the array, as in like the matrix we just covered earlier in the stream, how matrices kind of are just like a bunch of vectors and shit. So is this easy vectors? Would this make OpenGL great again is my question. Anyway, continuing on. It says 2D real array. Oh, okay. 2D reals. And it also says same as number 1, basically. Same as 1. Save. So then we have array 4 and 5. Custom lower and upper index bounds. -5? What? Bro, that's like Lisp, bro. That gives me Lisp vibes. Lisp arrays. There should be a picture of them. This. No? There was like a picture I saw with Lisp and arrays. And it had like, you had like an array, right? And you had like a bunch of different, I'd have to draw it out to explain. But like, it has this kind of thing, I think. Where like you can have indexes below 0 and above 0. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know how that works internally, but that's pretty cool. That's a feature I like. That's a feature I think is really good. Although I'm not sure what that it does imply some things about the memory handling and stuff like that, so I would be interested to know about it. 0:9. So like if you want to say it's 0:9 and then if you wanted a real, but I'm pretty sure Lisp has something similar. -5:7. Because I don't want to use exactly the same code, but we're going to learn from it. Array slicing. Powerful feature of language is, of the Fortran language is, it's built-in support for array operations. We can perform operations on all or part of an array using array slicing notation. For example, let's see, implicit none. Integer I. Alright, let's try to follow along with what they're doing. We'll create a new module then for our other stuff. Module. Well, let's try to compile it first. I don't want to have to troubleshoot any mistakes I make with the modules. Huh. Data declaration at end of statement cannot appear for... What? Oh, right. There's an order to operations. For example, putting a function before an array declaration. You can't do that. That's not a thing. I keep getting that confused. In D-Lang, it don't care because it's D-Lang and it's beautiful. Fortran wants you to write proper code. That's what Fortran does. Fortran is better than Rust, though, at least. That was just it telling me, hey, you can't do that there. Module examples. Take my examples module and just plop it right in there. Should G4 train again? Unexpected end of file in arrays F90. Oh wait, what? I'm very dumb. Beep, 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 beep. I wish I started with Fortran. This shit's so amazing. So that's an example. We're not going to use that anywhere. Then we'll try out what they're doing here. I hope it writes hello world every time. We're going to do a block inside here. Try another block out. Let's see. But these are super cool. 2D integer of 100 elements. Let's go ahead and make some integer stuff. Integer. Yeah, let's do like integer colon colon. We'll do 7. Do 7 numbers. I like how they start counting at 1. I think they do start counting at 1 in Fortran. I think I remember reading that. Let's do 7 times 7, because I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I think it's 49, but I'm probably wrong. I can't do math on the fly like that. Somebody please give me my graphing calculator back. I, which is an increment. So they have an array constructor. Like a constructor for class objects. Can we add class object to the program? We'll call this slice ops. COD slice ops. Wait, no, it's Fortran slice ops 2 zombies. You guys aren't ready for Fortran Slice Ops 2 Deathmatch, bro. You guys aren't ready for it. Array 1. We'll do... Why did I do 7? 7's my favorite number, guys. Well, actually, it's the number 5. 6, 7. Oh, too late, guys. We're cooked. Print array at odd indices. What? Pseudo what? Print. Pseudo what? Print out, start at element 1 and go up to element 10 in strides of 2. What the fucking shit? Oh, that's... Wow, that's actually one way of doing that. I didn't even realize. You could check the iterator to see if that's even. You could check the number to see if that's even. I didn't even think about that. Like, technically, I've done programs where you, like, iterate over an array and go, I need to find a specific, like, value, like 3 or 5, for example, or, like, 15, and you have to be like, if it's this, then do this. Technically, you can do it with something else. Hey man, I'm dealing with some mental dog shit right now. Always fun to watch you. Thank you, man. I'm glad I'm able to help you out, man. Print array 1 colon 7. Let's do array 1 1 to 7 in strides of 3, because I want to change it up on everybody. Let's do that. Does that work, by the way? Oh, my earring now. Thank Jabibis. Strides. Oh, my bad. I am sometimes missing things. G4tran my shit. No! Huh? Sometimes I think I don't know how to declare arrays because my brain cells go kaput. Ah, there we go. Wait, that's a German word too, by the way. Kaput? Isn't that German? Pretty sure it also means broken in German. 1, 4, and 7. Bro. That's coolioso. Print an array in reverse. So you do 10 to 1 negative. This is so interesting. Bro, we need this in D-Lang, I'm not gonna lie. 10 colon 1 colon negative 2. How do they do this? There's a colon right next to it. Colon, colon, comma, comma, colon, comma, comma, comma. Copy. Let's just do with 1. We'll do reverso mode. I was gonna do reverse maxing, but I use it too much. So, reverso mode. Fuck! What the? Huh? Out of bounds for... Oh, right. It's not 10, it's 7, by the way. By the way, I use 7. There is going to be a huge section in this. So reverso mode does 7 to 1. That's not bad. If I wrote a D-Lang program that did the same thing, I bet I could make it super fast. But, not gonna lie, this is some interesting stuff that they're able to configure the, like, iterator for which numbers to print and, like, all that shit. This is so useful. Set all of the elements to 0. Set to 0. Then you do print. Actually, you can do this. Array 1. Yes, please. All elements of array 1 are going to equal 0 after I'm done with this video. So every index, then you do printf. Yesterday I almost typed printf by mistake. I was like, goddamn, bro. Fortran really getting me with this print word. I'm like thinking C, Amogus, printf. Jimothy, we don't need to printf, bro. It's the secret answer to not C. That's the C answer to the problem. We're not doing C. Array 1. Oh, I just gotta print array 1. What am I doing? I bet Haskell's fun. I tried Haskell, but I couldn't get into it because it's not imperative language. This I'm getting into really easily because it's so imperative and it looks like English, bro. Like, it's clean. This is a clean language. This is a language you could write in for like 25 bajillion hours and still not be done writing in it. Like, this is a great language. Well, no, that's Java, but this is a language you could write in like 5 minutes and have a working functional program that you can read and go, yeah, I know exactly what this does. So that resets the array to 0. Oh, wow. Implied do loop constructor. What the hell? Set the first 5 elements to 1. What? This is cool. There is really cool stuff up ahead. I'm reading ahead though. Count up do loops. It's almost like Fruit Loops, but made out of Mountain Dew, bro. Future. They do the array before they do the prints. Why am I doing the print before I do the array print? It's like, that's a waste of time right there. Before the thing. Because like, then you're just initializing in the middle of the 2 prints. It's like, that would be choppy, honestly. I think that'd be choppy. Even if there's a slight delay, I consider shit choppy. Yeah, it doesn't look good, guys. I think it's got a slight delay of like 0.02 imperceptible milliseconds, and I can still go in my head, yeah, like that's perceptible to me. I can see that that's got a bit of delay in there, bro. Even 400 millisecond delay is like when you're like, yeah, that's a 400 millisecond C# program right there. I just typed / and it took 400 milliseconds to start. C#, 100% C# or something of that evil nature, bro. That .NET nature. But I won't discourage somebody from programming in C#, because if you program in C#, that's actually pretty neat. There's a lot of cool shit you can do with it. Even if it's slow. It's not my language, but I'm not gonna say you can't program in it. Why am I copying and pasting? Illegal. You're not allowed to copy and paste. You have to type every single thing manually today. For now on. Gotta come up with this on my own from compile errors. 1 to 10. So here's what's going on. It's gonna say I, comma, I equals 1, comma, to 10. I think. Implied do loop. So let's compile and test. This is all done with the array, by the way, so it's not even done with the print. The print doesn't do anything, really. It just prints it. The array is what's being made. This is so interesting. Oh, fuck. How did I screw it up now? Wait, is that 1 or L? That's a 1. That's a 1. Okay, so pseudo, what did I do wrong? Question mark, comma, 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 colon, comma, comma, comma. 1 comma 10. Yes. Pseudo, yes. Pseudo Pac-Man, yes, why not? Maybe it's the do loops. You can't handle the do loops. Ugh. Yeah, I'm so excited for today. Totally. Oh yeah, I'm so excited today. Count up do loop. Wait, my brain cell is fry. I comma I equals 1 comma 10. Huh? Imply. Oh, hey, you know what it is? I fucking put a 10. Bro, we're following along and I'm using 7s instead of 10s. Maybe the 7 times 7 should be a 7 times 20 or some shit. Just to compensate for the lack of 10. Wowie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can I add 1 to every single index of the array without doing any fanciness? Fancy schmancy. 6 colon. Set all elements after the number 5 to 2. So array 1 equals, then you will take the first. Oh, you just do 1 colon 5. If you just leave a colon, it makes all of them the same. But if you did 1 colon, let's say we do 1 colon 3, and then on the next one we do 4 colon every other number. Equals 5. And then we do this stuff again. This stuff right here eats my brains. It is zombie mode. I'm on that zombie grind set. Count up do loop. No. This one. Set 1, 2, 3 as 5. One, two, three as 5. The other thing would be just to do a different starting point for each of them. I wonder if you can do this in reverse as well. I'm guessing you probably can. And we could probably do from 7 to... Oh, from 6 onwards. From 6 onward, well, we could do 6 onwards, or we could do 4 onwards. Set 4 onwards as set from, and do from. That way it makes it more descript. What if I made a programming language where you have to type set from 1 to 3 onwards as that'd be terrible. Set From one... Bro, if you had a programming language where you had to write English, cooked. I ain't writing a single English in my programming language. I'm doing comma, colon, hashtag, comma, 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 comma. Alright, I like that shit. But, like, I like Fortran because it gives me a break from that shit, too, honestly. Oh, wow. Print out the first column in array 2 of type 2D. I'm gonna write an AI in Fortran now that I know how to use these. These are really good. This is a really good feature, bro. I might just become a Fortran god. God of Fortran, bro. Let's see. We need to do another one of these, but we needed to do it with the array 2. Let's do array 2, print array 2, first column. .2D array, and then they said colon comma 1. That's my kind of style. Colon comma 1. That is good. Do it. Oh wait, what? That's not the terminal. Why am I clicking on the fucking chat like it's a... Bro, this is what happens when I'm so tired. First column of second array. What? Sets it to integer limit. Decrements it by some exponent of unknown origin. I am confused now. Unknown origin array, bro. Unknown exponential decrease from integer limit. No, cancel that. Also, that is... I think that's just a regular 32-bit integer. I don't know, though. What is the 32-bit integer limit again? I think different languages have different rules for that. They shouldn't, though. Pretty sure it is 32. Oh, no, it's not. What is this? Copy. Pasta. Beep, 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 beep. 32-bit, always 2.14 billion. Oh, okay, 2.14 billion. The number of pi. 64-bit is like trillions or some shit. Yeah. So U short probably? I'd say U short. But U shorts were like 65K. What? Gordon. What the helly? This probably is that though. Bro, this is too many numbers. Seconds? What the fuck? $8 years ago. Guys, the U short integer limit of 8 years ago was 2019-01-30. 18, 42, 56. It was the 30th day in January. Thank you all for this information. Claude. Memory size limit. 1.4 gigabytes. Gigabytes. PHP. Oh god. Dying. I doubt it's set up as a 10-bit int. Yeah, 16-bit is 32K to negative 32 to positive 32K. Yeah. Which would be this number. But I don't know what it did. I have no idea what this program just did here. That's not what I expected. I didn't expect it to contain the integer limit in the last one. Unless that's just for like some kind of like... Yeah. Maybe I'm dumb. Did I use array 2? Yes. Pseudo array 2 there. Did I print it properly? The printing press. Did I G4tran too hard? I GNU'd my Fortran... What? It's random, by the way. Whoa, it's a random int. Random to overflow, and it's a negative one. So it's not unsigned. I think it's just a long. I think it's a long of unknown origin of random size. Holy shit, guys. I have a random number generator written in Fortran. It's called Fortran. Wowie. I wonder if Fortran was written in Fortran. Or if it was assembly maxing. Allocatable dynamic arrays. Alright, so then we'll make a new block. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Pac-Man SYU. Makes me laugh, bro. Every time. If you said Pac-Man SYU to me in public, I would laugh so hard. Lol. Ha 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 ha. Pseudo Pac-Man SYU. Integer allocatable. Ooh. So, defining them is different. Schmintiger. Here, I'm gonna put this here now. Make sure nobody takes it. JK, nobody can take it. How would you take a web browser, bro? Lol. Lol, 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 lol. Start block. Why did I put N? Did I just put what the fucking brain compression syndrome at this time? Start block. Block? Start block. Yeah, that'd be great if we had to write block, then start block, then end block, and then block again. Double the block. One more block. You know that t-shirt, the fucking ancient Minecraft t-shirt from like way back in the day that says, one more block, one more block. Yeah, that's Fortran for me. Fortran for me is one more block. My apologies, one more block at this time. So that just makes a bunch of nothing, and then... oh, that makes a dynamic one. Integer, comma, allocatable. Wish I could watch the array initialization in real time. I think this one goes colon, comma, colon, comma, comma, comma. I like comma, colon, comma, colon, comma, colon, comma, 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 colon. It's gonna become a new language. It's gonna become comma, colon. That's the future of English, by the way. Besides emoticon. Which is like awesome. Bro, emoticon became a language in the early 2000s, bro. Telling you. Well, no, probably when smartphones came into existence. 9. Let's do 9 since I like odd numbers. Odd numbers are the best ones because you never know what you're gonna get when you throw them into the fucking random engine of all time. Of course. Let's do 11 and 7. So I make a square of 11 rows and 7 columns, I hope. Or it's the other way around and it's columns, rows. But I don't think they're that evil to make. I think these are some actual sensible people who make Fortran. Then you have to do deallocate. Some program stuff. Deallocate. Oh, it's manual memory at this point. Whoa, that's interesting. I bet some Fortran developers back in the early days of Fortran were like, yeah, I'm gonna write my program in C now. I'm gonna switch to C since everybody's using C. I bet that's not really that big of a thing, or was not that big of a thing, but I bet there were some who said that, and they were like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to C, and then have to deal with deallocating my memory using malloc and shit. I bet that's what happened, is like, in the history of programming language development. Fortran was like the original, it was like the GOAT. Well, besides speed code, which came before it, and then there was a bunch of other ones that descend from it. Like, COBOL was around the same time as Fortran. I think COBOL was 1959, and then Fortran was just a few years earlier. I think ALGOL also falls in around the same time. Like, I think Fortran was 1953 or 50... No, it was 57. It had to be 57. And then, pretty much everything descends from those two. But also, you have to think Lisp was in there. Lisp was in there, I think. Programming language descendant tree. We have one of these for Linux where it's got like every single distro. Tree of programming languages. Access denied. Access denied. Access granted. Algo Academy. There is a generational list. Algol based. But this doesn't give you like times, chronological. 1979 or 1790 Loom concept, Jacquard machine. So 11 years later it was finished. Damn. But that's just how it goes. 1840s. Wait, there was... Oh, there would be ENIAC, wouldn't there? Short code. Wouldn't this have been used for the, like, Turing machine or whatever. Was it not a Turing machine? What was the machine used to decrypt like the fucking transmissions from those from the Nazis, bro? Pretty sure there was like a machine that they used historically to do that. Algae. Intermediate programming language. So like obviously they weren't the first, but of modern non-fuck ass programming languages, high level modern ones, you have we hit the actual, like this is the second one, but the one that comes before that is speed coding 1953. Yeah, Turing machine, pretty sure it was done by hand. Yeah. The first one, speed coding 1953. Second one is 1954 to 55. It's Fortran, or the concept of Fortran, which wouldn't be finished until like 2 years later. Lisp concept was done in that time. Comtran. Fortran 1 was in 1957. What is Comtran then? Intended as the business programming language equivalent of the scientific programming language Fortran. Ah. So then wouldn't Comtran come before Fortran, but Flowmatic? Speed coding? I guess these are like predecessors. Oh, okay. There's Jovial, Algol. Algol comes after Fortran. No, Algol came before it. Well, the original Algol, when was that? Lisp concept came first. Turing himself called it Christopher, but itself was called the Bomba. I don't know. Lisp 1959 implementation, COBOL concept 1959. Then COBOL in 1960, which technically is still used today for like old what are they? Mainframes. Combined programming language, or CPL, which comes after BCPL, which should have been somewhere up here, right? Pretty sure BCPL came before CPL. Or maybe BCPL comes after CPL. JAWS 2, Algol W, Fortran 66, Coral, Interlisp, XPL, Algol, Pop 1, Dibble, Forth, Logo, Mapper, Refl, Pilot, PL360. I've never heard of these before. BCPL comes before B at least. So we know that. CPL comes before B. BCPL comes after CPL. And then B comes after BCPL. And then comes C like later. Like in the 1970s. 1972 C. The fuck is Kate? Isn't the editor Kate? Yeah. Kate's the text editor. Wait, what? There's a language called Kate? Interlisp is the greatest language everywhere. Pop 2. Bro, if Linus Tech Tips chosen programming language, it'd be Pop 2. Telling you, bro. He's gonna get Pop 2 on Pop OS, bro. Pascal. KRL. Compiler description language. So here we're getting into like intermediary languages. Like that's when they kind of start coming around, I guess. Or maybe before, probably before then, but basic 4, ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. Wait, it had an IDE? IDE. Altair basic. That's what Mr. Windows himself used, bro. He started on Altair, didn't he? Well, he started with the Commodore 64, right? Let's get the AI overview since he's Mr. Microslop himself. Co-developed Altair Basic. Wait, really? So, yeah, I knew he was involved with Altair. I saw a book at the library on making a modern compiler in ML. Totally forgot that's a language. I feel like making a modern compiler is, like, honestly not too hard with the stuff we have nowadays. You could just compile down to well, to make a modern programming language. Compiler, though, it's a whole different story. A programming language and a compiler are two different things. A compiler just makes the assembly, and there's a lot of libraries and things out there that can allow you to bind to it with different languages and stuff. So, like, I feel like if you, like, use LLVM as a backend or something like that, you could probably write your own compiler, which is a project that I want to do, but I'm too scared to tackle it for a video. What is Claude on? But 64x32 has enough room for 8 16 by 16 cells. So I guess I don't want to guess which 4 you're using. My brain is fried. Commodore Basic. Commodore 60. Euclid. What about non-Euclidean? Modula. I like Modula. Vulkan D-Base. Vulkan. BBC Basic. Speakeasy 4. Draco. Postscript. What does it look like, bro? Give me a picture of Draco. Ada 83. In strong typing we trust. Ah, yes. The DoD lang. C++. True Basic. Occam. Oh, like OCaml. Oh, but I'm sorry. I'm not saying it. Bill Gates' book is pretty good, man. He's a true workaholic, just a bit pretentious at times. So, like, OCaml, right? OCaml. But, you know, every German says OCaml. And I'm sorry for butchering it to all the Germans out there. I'll make sure to double the OCaml I say from now on. Red code, OPL? Oh, damn. I'm sorry, I got distracted and we're like right at the end of the stream. OCaml. Clean. Oberon. I've heard Oberon is super neato. All the cool languages start turning up in the 1980s when Arch Linux users didn't have Arch Linux yet, and programming language. This is one that I think is really interesting and it always piques my interest because I always see it pop up in these lists and shit. I'm like, damn. Are we vibing some COBOL today? Nah, I'm just reading about different programming languages. I was learning some Fortran on arrays and stuff and how to use them. Doing some Fortran stuff to learn it. But then I got distracted looking at different languages in a list because we were like, what's the history of like all these languages? Where do they come from and all that? Which I think is important to cover at some point. A+, C90, Turbo Pascal. I've looked at Modula 3 and it doesn't look bad. It looks a lot like I literally pointed out, it looks a lot like Fortran. Fortran is like, well, what I was saying is Fortran's OG, bro. Fortran is the OG, but that's wrong. Because the OG is the fucking COBOL. No, it wasn't COBOL. It was something else. But Fortran concept came out in, what was it, like 1953? Scrolls all the way back up. The 80s, though, is like the peak languages come out in the 80s. That's when all of the languages got peak, bro. So 1980 was the year of the computer. 1950s, 51, 52, 53. Speed coding. That's the one. And then seven should be the Fortran. And then after Fortran in 59, COBOL concept. But it wouldn't be until 60 that it came out. Okay, I'm never going to remember that. But the first three languages are that one, COBOL, and the other one. Well, that one, Fortran, and the other one. Magic with a K. What? Bro, that OS looks pretty cool. What the hell? Oh, wait. Never mind. Hamilton C Shell is a clone of the Unix C Shell and utilities for Microsoft Windows by Nicole Hamilton at Hamilton Laboratories as a completely original work not based on any prior code. It was first released on OS2 on December 12th, 1988, and on Windows NT in July 1992 on December 11th. Oh, never mind. My bad. The OS2 version was discontinued in 2003, but the Windows version continues to be actively supported. They made Windows good again. Well, Windows was never good, but it was just a product, so it could never be good. But they made Windows good. Is it Windows good? Can I program on my Windows? Can I get Windows 7 and program on it? No way. Bro, that looks like Linux, but in Windows. This is the ultimate Linux rice. But it's not a Linux rice. This would be evil. That would be a disgrace to our arch lord, Linus Torvalds himself, bro. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching. And I have to end today's episode here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably. If you all... Thank you all for watching.